All right, my face is out the camera now. This is where I'm at. And whenever you notice parking lots like this and you see the Tesla, the Wawa sign, no, most likely I'm charging late at night. It is 12 a.m. Going towards the middle of the week, basically Wednesday. I get my little break in service tomorrow for about 8 hours because I'm doing these 18-hour shift out here, out here. Just about 30 minutes away from the city. So, yeah, I'm doing my thing, and I already cut up like 2 videos. One of them was interrupted, so I'm basically gonna upload today in 4 times. A couple final cuts because I feel like I had something to say today. Yeah, the video before this, I feel good about it. And I was just talking about, how late anybody who's ever done something remarkable received their flowers. Tesla got a car named after him, but I think he died broke. He died with no legacies. So, Con Edison received all the glory. I just know a brief about that from school. But I think that's the best example, right? So I think people get their flowers too late. I think that I can present what I'm doing right now to people that know me, only for the simple fact that it's better that way. No discouragement, no overthinking. I feel like I'm being myself. Like, when people think, when you're around people who you think know you a certain way, view you a certain way, guess what? It affects how you perform, But I don't really got to hold a facade because I took an oath when I said I was going to do this YouTube channel for me, because no one is watching right now. I'm 70 videos in. The 2 subscribers I have on my 2 other channels. And every now and then I see a random view because maybe I put 4th of July or maybe I put Saturday Night Light or something like that. So maybe you got to click, but I don't think anybody's watching my videos past 1, 2, 3 seconds, So this is for me. Now, there's little bits and pieces that somebody might find interesting, yes, because the same things I'm talking about, I would love to find a channel that is just as dedicated for me to watch when I'm basically doing other things like driving, and I want to hear somebody spit that shit, which that's why I started a channel, because I'm like, well, if it's not out there, how about I've created it, And by the way, I previously shout out Ferocious MGTOW. He stopped making video for like 2 straight years now. He was preaching of getting off the grid, I don't blame him. I'm just hoping that he's well and alive, Because usually when somebody just disappear, like, not one post, you just never know, He never said, like, he was going to stop making videos, The man was a trucker, so he would do, like, his drive, like, a whole, maybe an hour and a half, 2-hour live, kind of just talking, showing you the city. So that's kind of what I want to do with this channel. Not the exact same way, but I'm doing it right now. Obviously this is a simple parking lot where, I'm kind of pacing back and forth, but at the same time, I take a trip with my mind where maybe I might have told you what's going on with the job, how like the schedule is operating, how it works for me, And I might even mention how I'm gonna take up the challenge to pay off my student loan debt. So, when eventually I'll start with the payments, and I'll just keep my foot on its neck, and hopefully I could even blog talk about my last payment, because that's probably one of the main thing holding me back, aside from, obviously the little whatever they're gonna put on me for the car note and things like that. But that's something I'm glad that just went away, like in the only way possible. That's the car just gave out. At first I was like, man, I'm gonna be paying down this $17,000 balance on it with 20.99% interest, and that effed me big time. But it's gone. I'm just gonna focus on my student loans, and however else I could finesse the whatever they're gonna tack on me after, whatever they get off for the car. I'm supposedly responsible for the remaining balance. But anyways, so I take you on these journeys, right? Because that's everyday life for every other individual. Now, some got it better than others, right? Some are smarter or whatever, or some people been there, done that, right? Or some people just always had their ducks in a row. Now, that's cool. I had to learn from my own mistakes most of the time. I had to learn from being hard-headed myself. And I had to learn from my own faking it to make it, so to speak. I had to learn from that. And like I said, I'm the bravest person on YouTube because I can admit that. Now, I've seen others, and they have inspired me. Sometimes I might see a random channel and I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. There's this guy that he does all like DoorDash, Uber Eats, all of that to buy a tiny home. Now, he has family, but he slept in his car to see, I think he's to be in different cities or something like that. Like, I follow all those things, all those campers, basically getting away from the things that's becoming too much, like basic necessities, like to have a house with enough space and a place to shower, all in the same thing, is getting too much. It takes damn near 40% of what an average person can make. Sometimes, sometimes every time I'm working two gig right now, but in reality, sometimes I feel like if I did get an apartment, it would cost me like 70% of what I make. Now, that's probably not true because I'm doing well. It's just that I'm spending the money every other month so far on a trip that I'm probably gonna spend like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on for 5 to 10 days. But my mind is opening up, just crossing that sea. It's opening up. There's a bunch of other places to go, and I love to have that 5 days to myself in an Airbnb in another country. Then obviously I work 4 days, like three nights or something like that at another facility. So having just 3 nights, an apartment, $1,000 3 nights a week, which will total about what, 12 to 16 days at home. It's not smart for me to just be like, oh yeah, let me get an apartment. Oh, let me get a room a room in a house for $900 a month, and then you want an apartment, 12,000, 1,200 a month, and that would take away a freaking travel. Like, right now, I don't have it in me to say, yo, I'm gonna take one trip a year. You know, I already topped it at 3, and I'm going for about 6 this year, God willing. So, you know, I can't go back yet. You know, maybe one day I'll just chill, but I'm just looking for more ways to actually do it more frequent, if not overall just be a traveler. So yeah, I mean, that's the life right now, where a lot of people who's doing good, they're at least paying 40% of their income for a place to stay, and then they got other habits like their ties, whether it's church or, you know, habits, bars, women, you know, all that add up. You know, there's not really much left to do with, but, you know, people are doing it, so therefore maybe I'm mismanaging, but I know for sure, like, not too many people are doing that well. So we get to choose how we manage what we spend it on. You know, you want a big house, you want extra room, you want a nice toilet, fine, be my guest. Some people, you want a nice car, and, you know, and live in a dump, that's all to you. Or you want a, you know, a little rundown car and live in a nice house, up to you, right? But like I've been saying, I'm thankful of that situation that I have. Like right now, I'm about to get back and probably sleep for like 4.5 hours and get back on the clock. But luckily, they took away 8 hours in my Wednesday, so I'm gonna be on the clock for like 4 hours and be off for 8 hours and come back in for 6 hours. So, you know, that's a relief, but it's not all the time that I do get that 8 hours, because more time it's the supervisor that comes and cover the 8 hours, and he got to be elsewhere. So I can stay in, and it's not like I'm doing hard labor. So more time, if I'm tired, guess what? I could get that rest. You know, so it's like the perfect storm. But no jinx, because I'm only going on my 3rd month. You know, I'm only going on my 3rd month. But hey, you know, you wait long enough, you know, you don't, the right situation will come. So that's where I feel like I'm at right now. Like, you know, I could have been buckle up and got a job, but, you know, I did Uber for as long as I could, and guess what? When the opportunity was there was a job, you know. But anyways, I'm about to go down and check up on the car. I think I've been almost 30 minutes, and they told me about 50 minutes this time to charge this thing. That's the most I've ever seen. But one thing about batteries and chargers, it jumps and fluctuates. 10 minutes is not really 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just go to do a quick little checkup, do a little time check, see what's going on, and maybe I'll continue the video. But I think it's just good enough, because I've been going for like 14-15 minutes, and I don't gotta make it that long, you know what I'm saying? So let's just do that checkup. Either we're gonna continue for another 5 minutes, or we're good. And it's looking more like we're good, because we're well over 80%. And it is only $12.25. That's crazy. But it did cost me about $14. So we're gonna stop right here. 88%. All right, that's it, y'all.